You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Looks like a little bit of hacking going on. Don't have my VPN on. I didn't notice that. Shouldn't have to. However, there are criminals in the world, and they believe that bullying is okay. Now, to say it's bullying dumbs it down. However, it is a form of bullying, and bullying at that level is spycraft, is psychological warfare, is psychological torture that does lead to physical pain and physical torture. The program's designed to cause physical ailment and physical pain. The only question is, are they using surreptitious substances to cause that ailment and pain? Spies cause flus, or not necessarily flus, but colds to exist if they want to shut down a community. Getting rid of some demons here. Another one. One thing you should be careful of is when you receive in your mind, if you receive, they will befriend you because they're trying to establish a link into your mind. So you'll have a friendly voice that is actually a cover for something that's destroying your life. When they wire into your psychology through metaphysics, they're also wiring into the community around you. That's why they will stalk you to make it even more so than what it would be if they just kind of focused on you. They'll be in the community connecting to others. So anybody you come in contact with is already receiving from them. And again, there's things called rulers, and we get into that later, but we'll go into this bully conspiracy. What's happened is it's okay to be a bully. Now, you've seen law enforcement prosecute bullying and things like that. But you have to understand, you're not allowed to hurt the bully. Now, that's lawful, or that's against the law, and it's lawful to say don't hurt the bully. And I agree to that. But watch when you hurt the bully what they do to you. That's because in their system, they can go around the community, commit crimes against people, but yet nobody's allowed to do anything back to them. Again, that's spycraft. They would say hostile takeover, but it's at the level of murder and organized crime, extortion, and strong-arming and assault. Sipping on my coffee here. Thought I was going to need a new coffee maker. My Melita, what do they call those things? It takes the place of a K-cup. Hang on, let me go get it. It's called a Java jig. So the Melita Java jig, if you don't have the lid on tight, it leaks out the sides. you can actually press. There's two little spots where you're supposed to press down, where they're it kind of an extension coming out, and you press down on that, but the other sides could still be raised up. So you have to look all the way around it and then press it down and maybe press it down on the other side. But it's great because you get a filter with a K cup that you prepare with your own grounds. You're not stuck paying that extra money for the K cup. And you still have like a controlled brew where it's a and if you don't believe in it, then you're not a Christian. Don't throw new agey at me. Because Jesus already said, it's a cue. I was in the new age. So I'm going to try to get my VPN on here. Now, what they're doing is they're speaking certain voices, attempting to speak through me. It's not because I said it. They do this all the time. I've already told you that excited utterance has been discredited. I'm not sure if this is working. So what's happened is they're the bully, and they believe in bullyism. And that's pretty much what. And then if I use the VPN, they'll go, oh, that's strange that he's using that VPN. Really strange that he's using that VPN. What do you think he's doing? Like everybody else in the world. I block you from my denial of service. So again, they engage in this bully, but yet there are certain rules about prosecuting non-secret society bullies. And of course, they don't know if it's a secret society bully in every case. I'm moving some powers inside. So they get to this point where they might make a good show of it, but if you notice, they're very lenient on bullies because what are they really? They're doing the same thing as the secret society psychological operators and may have been put into it by one of them. Now, when I say secret society psychological operators, it's not quite as far out there as they want you to believe. It's your chamber of commerce, it's your school board, it's your county commissioners, it's your police department. It's wherever it is, and those are the places that sociopaths gravitate towards. But that's who they really are. That's the level of abuse that they're trained. School board, where the one guy stood up in front of the school board and said, "You bullied me when I was a kid," and now he's like the county commissioner, the bully. That's really what's going on out there. That's why we're having issue, but yet they have plenty of money to burn right now. A year from now, they might not. Again, another bank. And then, you know, All right, they're blocking the signal somehow. It could be the phone company, but it could be just some sort of device. They could be one room over, two rooms over. Could have put it in the wall and wired it to an outlet. I'll come back after I leave here to pull it out of the wall. That's the kind of things they do. That's spycraft. Are they doing that? I don't know, but that's their capability. To have somebody one room over with a little device playing with a dial. It's on the phone with someone else telling yes, no, yes, no. But that's what's really going on. So when we look at what they're doing, is they're doing what? It's propaganda, psychological warfare, and then specific people that are psychologically torturing to create the world where you would let them do that. Now, remember, last time the economy crashed, it took about 8 years to fix. I know Trump didn't magically come in there and fix it. We were moving things for years. While Trump was sitting on the sidelines going, oh, they're all idiots, we were moving a ton of things through those years to get the economy back up. And in fact, when Trump got in there, the Republicans handed him all my stuff somehow, and he did my stuff. And again, of course, I used healing power to heal him and the economy until his people or the people that paid him is what is most likely. And probably a few, what are they called? 3%ers and those type of people are psychological operators. The only question is, are they still psychologically operating? If you're in a community where you have 3%ers and Proud Boys and all those type of people, they are psychologically operating and manipulating your community. And nobody does anything to them because they're part of the thing. Now, is it Republican, Democrat? No, they could be them and Antifa attacking us. So again, who are they focusing you on? On politics and it's that person, it's that person. There are people today that are working for Large Marge and all the rest that are spycraft operators. They're supposedly protecting her, but they operate. And they've already blackmailed people. As long as she pays them money, they've already extorted and blackmailed people into elevating Large Marge. She's a mob boss. That's who she is. But they're also in the Democratic Party. Remember, they're in security, they're in executive protection. Oh, I have to protect this person by destroying that person over there. Who do we know? We know about Weinstein. That's the type of operations they're running. But don't believe what you saw in the news about, oh, we were only going to do this and we didn't know that. And they would have killed her if they could have. They'd have gotten millions. If Rose McGowan ended up dead, they'd have got big Christmas bonuses, believe me. Or believe you me. I mean, they're into things like if they cause your finances to go down, if they cause your credit to go down, while bombarding you all day with all sorts of nonsense and people, and the nonsense being psychological manipulation, psychological torture, they get up. They get money. It's fine. I mean, you lived your life. You'll all go to hell, and I'll go back down here and help Jesus because he's here walking the earth. So again, your bully problem is a secret society problem. It's not disconnected. And there's a group think mob rules thing going on in the background. And it also involves a certain level of sexualization. So these parents that are mobbing up with their children to bully a young person are part of that secret society. I told you my children were half Asian, and they did it to them. And yes, it goes back to FBI, DHS, CIA, state police, local police. So they will murder your child psychologically until your child commits suicide. That's missing and exploited children, has the same people. So again, when I say CIA, FBI, Marshal Service, you'll probably find a higher level of that heinousness in private sector involving retired people, contractors and cronies of those people, etc. Again, we call that the beast. They can go to church all day and cast spells from the church, and you'll say they're okay, right? That's why they put people out of the church, to say, but you're not a church member. But what do they want in the church? Secret society, spycraft criminals. And that's what they got. And they got money now. Churches are richer than they've ever been. They have more power in the community than they've ever had. But what did that do? That caused the ones that they oppressed, that are also part of something similar, to focus on them and fight back. So then they say, oh, they're taking our rights. They're taking your rights because you took other people's rights. Whether you did it through the courts or through your secret society is neither here nor there. So again, you can't get rid of bullyism, blah, because of the conspiracy. And what is that conspiracy? The haves and have-nots is what they try to make you believe, but it's something much more heinous. Creating the have. Used to be, this person works hard because you see them work hard, correct? Now it's, I have money, therefore I have worked hard. Again, the same thing. And again, we go back to the Soviet Union and the Russian takeover of the United States in the 90s by paying off some of my coworkers, quite honestly. Did Vladimir Putin, the KGB, walk up to my coworker and give them money? Possibly, but probably not. There's go-betweens. Who's a go-between? If your supervisor, your assistant chief, your SAC has you exterminate a coworker, there it is. Your SAC works for the Russian. Your assistant chief works for the Russian. That's where the nation went. Oh, I'll bring it up right now real quick before I end this. I did tell you to practice taking down people in a vehicle. And part of it was to make sure they don't get back into the residence. And now I don't know what that apartment was. I have no clue whether it was his, someone else's, or just a vacant apartment where he barricaded himself here in Overland Park. And of course, no matter how well you plan anything, it could fall apart. So again, they may have planned it. But apparently, he could get somewhere he shouldn't have been able to get to. I'm sure they didn't have enough people initially. And that's another issue, having sufficient staff to cover that zone or those zones. I don't think the FBI was there till later. So they may have wanted to call in some of those people. And they may not normally do that until shots are fired and then, everybody comes running in. I said to bring in some extra people. What was that program? Oh, the Capitol Police executive protection people. Have them work the task forces. A guest member. Or maybe a permanent member. Who knows? Because your Capitol Police officer doesn't have enough people to operate some operations that he needs to operate or she needs to operate. So they have the investigator from Capitol Police, executive protection, working cases, but also assisting, different task forces so that they can get some reciprocation. And they could have a couple people in the office, one on the FBI task force, one on the Marshal Service task force, et cetera. Another on the DEA task force. And when they need some help with surveillance, they bring those people in. And they get help with their case. So again, what we're looking at is that society has built a bully society. Now, somebody like Trump, well, you're a suck. I got money and, all of that. They're all into that. They all, I told you, majority of my coworkers were listening to Howard Stern all day and watching You're Fired all night. That's their wavelength. That was their wavelength. So again, that's the government's wavelength. So you're not going to get anything of value because why? If you try to fix something they want broken so they can use it to elevate themselves in their criminal society, then they're not going to let you fix it. So I'll get into that further later. Stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Land, presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.